This is the Phillies POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Philadelphia Phillies. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
So everything sucks. Everything except the Phillies starting pitching sucks. But when it comes to the lineup, 1 through 9, holy Lord, this team is terrible. Absolutely terrible. You sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates as part of a 9-game winning streak at home. And then the Pirates return the favor and sweep you out of Pittsburgh in a series where you're able to muster 1 run in each of the last 2 games. In a series where in game 1 of the 3-game set, you blow 3 different leads in that game. And then the wheels absolutely come off for this starting lineup. And it's only highlighted by the fact that your starting pitchers were so on point over the last 2 days. Ranger Suarez, gem, wasted. Christopher Sanchez, gem, wasted. We all know there's going to be lulls in the baseball season, but like this is inexcusable, especially when this continues to be the biggest possible fear you could have about this high payroll Philadelphia Phillies offense. No Bryce Harper? Oh, you want to make excuses? Oh, no Bryce Harper? That Nick Castellanos, Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner. These are all guys that are supposed to hit. These are all guys that are supposed to get on base. These are all guys that are supposed to make runs happen. And today, you have Brandon Marsh and Rafael Marchan lead your charge. Good Lord, this team's terrible. And here's the thing. You go up against Paul Skeens today. Paul Skeens gets taken out of the game a little early, literally the point where Tom McCarthy is laughing at the idea of taking him out. They take him out. Ashcroft comes in. Oh, and he all of a sudden just goes out there and gets the 1 out that he needs. Bing, bang, boom, you're out of the inning, no problem. So it worked. But the Phillies continue to swing early in counts, continue to be overly aggressive, and they just go down time and time again. And it wasn't so much even this. Like yesterday, I mentioned 4 hits. And I was like, you know what? If it would have been the first 2 games of this series, where you're talking about last 2 games of this series, you're talking about 5 hits in total. Oh, man, they only get 5 hits in that game. Well, then yesterday they got 4. 1 more hit in that 7th inning. All of a sudden, you might get a go-ahead run across the plate. Today, you get 3. 5, 4, 3. Done. 3 hits. 3 hits today. That is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And I've shown you guys this before, but to go through it one more time, you look at the lineup for today. Bryson Stott, 0 for. Trey Turner, God bless. Yeah, that's a double in the top of the 9th inning. Good for him. Schwarber, 2 strikeouts, 0 for 3, but he did work a walk. Alec Boehm, the 0 for again. Alec Boehm in that last at bat got a sinker that had some great run on it. I got to give him credit there. Had some great run on it, and Alec Boehm just topped it and hit a bouncer up the middle and double played. That's it. After that, Nick Castellanos, 0 for. Max Kepler, 0 for. Otto Kemp worked a walk, first big league walk, first big league on down base for him. Good for him. And then Brandon Marsh, I know that he hasn't been exactly extremely sharp in center field. They said he broke late on a ball late in the ball game, took another step back, and then came in. I don't think he was making it to that. By the time there was contact, and then he was charging the ball, I don't think he was going to get it anyway. Also had a miraculous catch in center field earlier on in the ball game. I can't be mad at Brandon Marsh. Brandon Marsh is he's the least of my concerns right now when it comes to this Phillies lineup. He's actually been hitting with some consistency, and I can't be for all the guys in this lineup to be mad at. Brandon Marsh ain't it. But Bryson Stott, not a leadoff hitter. We've said that 3 shows in a row now. Trey Turner, for as wildly consistent as he has been, now inconsistent for this ball club. Kyle Schwarber has hit a wall, an absolute wall on this road trip. What started out great with promise in that first inning against the Toronto Blue Jays, and then later Kyle Schwarber able to help you out again. Hit another home run, his 20th home run of this series, but that's it. That's all you've gotten from him. No, he is not a concern right now. And then you're looking at the rest of this lineup, who's going to be the guy to really get hot. And, Rob Thompson said this the other day, and this is one of the few things I've heard from Rob Thompson that I agree with. In this lineup, guys can afford to not hit every once in a while because 2 or 3 other guys are red hot. Well, that hasn't happened. And to go back to it, that's the overwhelming concern of this baseball team. What's going on with them right now, the inability to score runs. Before the season started, my overall outlook on the year is that the Phillies would make the playoffs, and that would be mostly thanks to their starting rotation. Well, Aaron Nola, not so much. Spot starts here and there from Taijuan Walker, not so much. Zach Wheeler's supposed to come back tomorrow now from paternity leave, so welcome back. Could use him, certainly. Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and Jesus Luzardo, up until his last 2 starts, have been flat-out dominant. So any ride to the playoffs is still going to hinge on the back and the work of your starting pitching, your starting rotation. Bullpen has you worried. The offense hitting another lull absolutely has you worried. This is where a lot of the money is spent on this Phillies roster, and they ain't getting it done in that lineup. And it just makes you think about down the line when the games really start to become more crucial because everything starts to pan out and filter into September as to where you are in the standings, either leading your division, which just seems laughable at this point, or in the wild card. And you think back to games like this. You think back to this a series like the Pittsburgh Pirates series. You think back to getting swept by the Milwaukee Brewers. And you think back to those times and you go, well, you should have, for the All-Star break, should have hit a little bit more of a stride. And nope, everything went down the hill. Everything went down the drain, right before the All-Star break and those weeks leading up to it. It is absolutely atrocious what you're seeing from this Phillies lineup right now. Also, talk about getting swept by the Pirates. Talk about losing 2 of 3 to Toronto north of the border. Talk about coming home after a 1-5 road trip. And it's like, okay, well, maybe just need to come home. And I forget who said it during the broadcast. I think it was Ruben Amaro Jr. He said the Phillies just look like a team that – oh, no, it was actually Ricky Bo. Right before I came into the studio, I heard Ricky Bo say it at the last second. Coming home after the road trip. And – oh, no, it was Ruben Amaro. It was Ruben Amaro Jr. right at the end of the game. He said, coming home for the road trip, get things right at home, something to that effect. And I'm like, I don't feel great about this team coming home. I don't feel like home cooking's a thing. They just got swept by the Milwaukee Brewers at home. So excuse me if I'm not, going to give them some triumphant return to South Philadelphia, because I don't feel like standing and applauding a team like that's playing the way they're playing right now, or really not playing the way they should be playing when you talk about this lineup and trying to get some hits together. Absolutely terrible. There was one thing that did not go the Phillies' way. And look, everything falls on the Phillies. I am not giving them any excuses whatsoever. It all comes to the Phillies. There was one instance today that I thought the Phillies were going to get something going. And again, it goes back to Brandon Marsh. So in that 3rd inning, Rafael Marchan puts a double in the right field corner. Brandon Marsh is on first base. He's hightailing it around, gets to 3rd. Gonzalez ends up, I think his mitt and Marchand hit, or Marchand slid into his mitt, whatever. It was an E4 on Gonzalez. So the ball trickles in between second and first base, away from where Gonzalez is playing and where he's looking. Marsh reads it well, comes home, scores the Phillies' only run of the ball game, makes it a 1-1 game. So then you go into the 5th inning then, okay? 2 innings later, Max Kepler's up at the plate. He goes down looking at a 0-2 fastball up in the zone. See you later, sit down. Otto Kemp comes up. He works a walk. You got an 8-pitch at bat by Otto Kemp. Good job by him. 3 foul balls. He got a 1-out base runner. Brandon Marsh is at the plate. 3-0 count. Paul Skeens puts a fastball outside. Away. Like, not even close. Away. And I was watching Scott Barry, who I have never liked as an umpire, going back to the Ryan Howard incident many years ago. And I see that pitch not even close to where he had been calling those strikes. It might be half a ball outside the zone, and he would call it a strike. This was 2 balls outside the zone, away from Brandon Marsh and Scott Barry. Streak. Makes it a 3-1 count. Should have been ball 4, runners on first and second, where, let me fast forward here, probably the Phillies come up small at the top of the order anyway, but still, runners on first and second. The Phillies don't need anything else going against them. They're bad enough as it is. To have a bad call like that, that was a moment. When I saw that pitch outside, I went, here we go, let's get some. Strike 1? Really? Okay. Great. And then, like I said, probably Bryson Stott would have struck out. Trey Turner probably would have flied out to the left field or something. The Phillies wouldn't have capitalized it anyway. So, but they could use all the help they can get. And that was an example of them getting help in that fifth inning. As the game went on, I was curious. Look, Orion Kerkering didn't look like he had any semblance of good stuff today, unfortunately. But I was very surprised that after already having Orion Kerkering warming up in the seventh inning, I was very surprised that Christopher Sanchez at 96 pitches came out to face Oneil Cruz to lead off the eighth inning. Now, he had his number. I think he struck him out 2 or 3 times earlier in the ball game, so I think he had his number, and maybe that's what Rob Thompson was going for. But I was like, oh, he's coming back out for this at 96 pitches? Oh, all right. Hey, look, I love this era of baseball, man. Yeah, let's go. Did not have anything. 4 straight balls. Oneil reaches first base. You got a leadoff base runner. And then, Orion Kerkering, come on in. Orion Kerkering comes in, and then, look, a lot of times you could look at bad luck, and the Phillies seem to have no luck at all right now other than bad luck. So a broken bat, humpback, not quite a bloop, but a humpback single into shallow right field. Oneil Cruz is able to come around and score from second base on that one. That play looked like it took an hour and a half for Nick Castellanos to get that ball and throw home. Like, I went back and watched that a couple of times. I'm like, no, he's right there. What is taking so long? Did he stop and ask Bryson Stott if he was okay? And as I hit the microphone, Nick Castellanos came up, fielded the ball with his mitt, went right to throw, and that was that. And just had nothing on the throw home, and it was offline. They had a chance to get Oneil Cruz, but not with playing the ball like that, unfortunately, and not with that kind of throw. So that was the game-winning run. Charged to Christopher Sanchez, 7 innings, 2 runs, allowed by Orion Kerkering. That game-winning run there, unfortunately. And again, just off the bat, but got enough of it for Andrew McCutchen to come up with what was the game-winning RBI single to right field. Goes in the box score and looks like a line drive, man. A hard-hit scorcher to right field. And that was that. Phillies had an opportunity with Trey Turner coming up with the 1 out. Double in the 9th inning. And then Kyle Schwarber intentionally walked. And, of course, Alec Boehm swings away at the first pitch. He got the sinker. He got the fastball that he was looking for, but it had phenomenal run on it and ran away from him, got it off the end of the bat, topped it a little bit, bounced it up the middle for the, if you even want to call it a threat-ending double play, game-ending double play, sweep-clinching double play, courtesy of that Alec Boehm play right there. So when we come back, I'm going to take your comments on this. I'll give you a play of the game. We'll get all through that as the show goes on. This is Locked On Phillies Postcast and the Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Hey, you know what? Baseball might be bad, but you know what's wonderful? Pistachios. That's right. Looking for a snack that's both delicious and nutritious? Crack into a good source of protein with wonderful pistachios. Wonderful Pistachios is one of the highest protein nuts out there. Fantastic. Each 1 ounce serving has 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. Plus, they're packed with fiber and better for you unsaturated fats to keep you feeling fuller longer. Personally, I love the no shell variety. I don't got time to get that cracking. You know what I mean? Just give me the delicious, amazing, wonderful pistachio. For those that do like that satisfying crack, they are available, each with the shell. You guys can enjoy that. It's like a snack meditation for you. Get cracking and get snacking when it comes to wonderful pistachios. Visit wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more. That's wonderfulpistachios.com. And how about the Game Time app? Phillies are coming home. Maybe you want to root them on the victory. I heard a lot of Eagles chants going on down there, or over there, I should say, on the west side of the state in Pittsburgh there. But maybe you want to go to a game. Maybe you want to do an Eagles chant at a Phillies game. You know, gets you excited for football season because the Phillies aren't doing it. Well, Game Time app can put you there. Have you ever decided to do a last-minute ticket purchase? Head to a ball game, family and friends included. Maybe it's game day in the house. Maybe you want to grab those last-minute tickets. Well, Game Time app has you covered for that. Game Time makes buying tickets fast and simple. Prices on the app actually drop closer you get to first pitch of the ball game, and they've got incredible last-minute deals, clear seat views as well, and the lowest price guaranteed. That takes the worry out of buying tickets. You literally take the guesswork out of buying tickets with the Game Time app. Game Time is the official ticketing partner of Locked On MLB. Make it easy to browse the app and exciting upcoming MLB games when it comes to the Game Time app. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Again, create an account, use promo code LOCKEDONMLB. That's LOCKEDON MLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, we're going to get to your comments coming up in just a second, but before we do that,
this is the Locked On Player of the Game.
Player of the game today is Paul Skeens, keeping the Phillies bats at bay throughout the ball game. I hate to go to an opposing pitcher, but 7 2/3, 2 hits, 1 run, 97 pitches, 7 strikeouts. He absolutely gets player of the game, but curveball, pun intended, Christopher Sanchez, co-player of the game, just like Ranger Suarez was yesterday. I can't do the other guy dominates. I can't do 2 days in a row, but I'm going to go Christopher Sanchez is going to split the responsibility there, split the honor. He'll get his plaque in the mail, I'm sure. 7 innings, 2 runs, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts, 100 pitches, even for Christopher Sanchez. As for the turning point,
time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
For me, it just goes to Andrew McCutchen getting that unfortunate, for the Phillies, unfortunate humpback liner of the RBI single to right field that brought Oneil Cruz home. That was where everything turned for the absolute worst for the Philadelphia Phillies.
This is what you'll be talking about.
This is a conversation I had tomorrow. You want to go to the game tomorrow? No. Look at the lowest price on Game Time app. Okay, I'll go. Like what I did there. Anyway, what you're going to be talking about is how porous this offense is. Just absolutely porous. Like, seeing guys be overly aggressive with the pitcher they should be, have a little patience with. The one at bat that really drove me crazy today was the Trey Turner at bat. His second to last at bat of the game that came in the 6th inning. Phillies didn't have anything going. There's already 2 outs in the inning, but Skeens is still throwing to him. He lays off a changeup. He lays off, I believe it was a 1-2 changeup at his feet. Skeens comes back and throws him the exact same pitch. So you literally just saw it. But in your mind, Trey Turner's gearing up to hit a fastball at this point. He's like, all right, I just saw that. I believe it made a 2-2 count. He's going to give me the fastball here. He doesn't want to go to a full count. He's going to go to a fastball here. No, he went right, take 2. No, he went right back to the changeup, and Trey Turner swings over top of it. Just absolutely had his number in today's ball game, unfortunately. So that's one of the things I think he'll be kicking around tomorrow as far as that goes. Also, we'll cross our fingers and we'll hope that Zach Wheeler doesn't look like a guy who hasn't pitched in 7 days now? Pitched in a week almost. Let's hope that that's the case. When I didn't even see, when was his last start for Zach Wheeler? God bless him. Him and the missus. Child number 4, I believe, for him. Supposed to come back into the swing of things tomorrow night at 6:40 in South Philadelphia. So I hope that is exactly the case for your boy, Zach Wheeler. Really? His last start was against Atlanta. Holy Stromboli. Yeah. That's a long time ago. Jeez. May 29th. And he got shellacked in that one. That was the 9-3 loss. That was the beginning of the Phillies losing 10 of their last 13. Good time. Oh, no. I'm sorry. That was Atlanta. Or excuse me, Oakland. Jeez. Sacramento against the Athletics. That was the first loss of their 10 out of their last 13. We're all having fun. Let's get to the chat. Check and see how your amazing people are doing on what really is a horrible Phillies day. Just Patrick 2. What's going on? Who thought Brandon Marsh and Rafael Marchan would have the only 2 hits off Paul Skeens? That's at least while Christopher Sanchez was in the game before Trey Turner's hit later. Exactly. Morgan Landy, hello. I know it was Paul Skeens, but this whole series of Phillies were like, yeah, it's Paul Skeens. That's to me, that's no excuse when you have still been bad. No excuse. Oh, and you saw him recently? Oh, okay. And he got the 4th, 3rd highest payroll in all of baseball. Still not a thing. Okay. Geez, really? Grounder into a double play? Really, says Tommy Shrove. I'm sure that's on the Alec Boehm hit. Can we trade Boehm to Fluke All-Star last year? Oh, can we trade Boehm to Fluke All-Star last year? Of course, I'm not. Alec Boehm's been one of your best hitters since his awful start to the season. I know he shouldn't be the centerpiece of a lineup. I'm more mad at guys like Kyle Schwarber after this. I'm more mad at Trey Turner. I'm more mad at Bryson Stott. Just remember this. We were ripping Bryson Stott on this show before it was trendy. Just remember that, people. Tommy Shrove, it's time to start panicking. Bucket Getter, 215, what's going on? Great name. Time to fire Kevin Long. Look, there is no doubt in my mind that a head has to roll this season. This could be it. If Kyle Schwarber's not resigned, this is it. Because who's going to come over? Like, other than Kyle Schwarber, for the most part, unlike today and maybe the last 5-6 games, who do you like? The only guy I have confidence in to be instant offense is Kyle Schwarber. That's it. So who's coming to save this team right now? Unfortunately, nobody. John Messina, this is all. That's funny. This is all the GM fault. He did not improve this team. Yeah. Let's see. I went on this rant the other day. It was Jesus Luzardo hasn't been it over his last 2 starts. I have confidence he'll bounce back and be better. I've never had confidence in Max Kepler. I went, that's the guy that's going to be your game changer? Because of all the positions, that was the spot that you went, all right, I'm going to bring in a left fielder here. Now you watch. And I'm like, unimpressed. Drastically unimpressed. What is he down to now, by the way, after today's game? Max Kepler is hitting, a solid 208. Damn. Yeah, he sucks. Just as I thought when he was acquired. Although he does suck more than I thought he would. So there is that. Chris Moore, I'm officially done with this team. No, don't go. Old Thunder 69. What's up? I'm officially done with this team. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Can't stand this team. Stop batting leadoff. Such an insult. Guy. I like that. So Aiden Miller, I don't think you see this year. He is tearing the cover off the ball in May. Hitting the cover off the ball in May after a rough start. Justin Crawford, that can't happen soon enough, but that's one that I don't think the Phillies... Like, the thing with Otto Kemp is everything you're getting from him right now is gravy at the minor league level. An undrafted player, you rolled the dice, yeah, let's see what he's got. Like, they don't basically look at him as a guy as a long-term fix to anything, so they could be a little footloose and fancy free with him. But they look at Justin Crawford as a guy that could be, a perennial all-star. So we want to make sure that he's okay before he comes up there. When was the last time Harper drove in 100 RBIs? I don't know, but I know he was hitting 300 before he went out the first time, and Phillies aren't that good with him. Or excuse me, Phillies definitely aren't that good without him. So yeah, it's been a minute. Everyday Mets, yeah. Just so I need to hear from right now. Alvarado gonna slip Bryce some of that good medicine. Yeah, okay. Tim G, we have no leader. Okay. Frederick Klein. It's just a big slump. This is what I want to believe, but I can't. Because, like, for instance, if you're the biggest Phillies fan out there, and I mean like almost just a blind optimist, first off, I envy you. Second, how do you talk yourself off a ledge? Even if you see a ledge, how would you talk yourself further away from it? Because you're so optimistic. How would you talk yourself away? Like, it's so easy to go, oh, this team is doing what they've done in the past again, which is just hit a wall, be terrible. And the thing is, they've done that in the playoffs. So even if they have some incredible year, like even last year, incredible start. We've talked about May 37-14, and then boom, hit a wall, and they're terrible. Although this feels like you're hitting the wall a lot harder. Last year, you're still about 6 to 8 games over 500, I think, after the 37-14 start. I like blaming Alvarado. Elena, hello. This team is horrible. I concur. Frederick Klein, laugh out loud. Okay. Film space. The thing is, bro, I think we are hiding Aiden and Justin for a reason. They know they are stars. We play in the game. I don't like the game. We have no leader. I do think Kyle Schwarber is a leader, but he's going through a rough. Look, I know everyone's always amped up for June, But I think last year's April was even better than last year's June for Kyle Schwarber. And I'm not sold on the month thing. I think there's some coincidences that have taken place. And he had a 10 home run May. So I think that might be his hot month. He might come back down to earth in June now. But hey, if that means July is better or August is better or September is on fire, well, then I'll feel a lot better about the whole situation. So that's where I'm at right now as far as that Phillies team goes. Facts of the 80 Phillies needed Pete Rose to turn the corner. They absolutely did. Absolutely did. Who's the guy? Who's the guy that comes in here and turns things around for the Phillies? Who's that guy going to be? I don't know. But by the way, listening to Bryce Harper talk about the injury, how about his elbow is now affecting his wrist? This feels like it's going to be a while. By the way, box score for the pitching. I didn't show that earlier. I mentioned it. Christopher Sanchez, 2 runs, 6 hits, 9 strikeouts. Orion Kerkering, 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, 3 Ks. But the humpback liner was off of him, not Christopher Sanchez, but the run was charged to Sanchi. I will be back with you guys tomorrow night. I look forward to breaking everything down with you guys, and hopefully the Phillies get off the schneid and, I don't know, put a 9-game winning streak together. I don't know. Let's get crazy. Let's get greedy. By the way, it does not get much easier for the Phillies, by the way, coming up in the not too distant future. You go through June here, you got the Cubs, then you got Toronto again. Miami, a 4-game series. Please. Then you got the Mets for 3, the Houston Astros for 3 in Houston, the Braves for 3 in Atlanta, then the San Diego Padres, and then middle of July, you got the All-Star break after the Giants and Padres. Padres again. So you got 6 games coming up against the Padres to help round out the season. Padres, by the way, 10 games over 500 right now. Phillies, did they drop to 9 games over 500 after the loss today? Or over 500? 9 games. 9 games over 500. We're all having fun. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. You guys are great as per usual. I'll be back with you guys tomorrow night. So I look forward to that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Make sure you guys hit like and subscribe to Locked On Phillies Locked On Phillies YouTube channel. Connor Thomas has you covered each and every day with the Locked On Phillies daily podcast. I got you covered for your Locked On Phillies postcasts. Thank you very much. Also, tomorrow, we'll be doing a whole new episode, as we do every day, Keith Pompey and I, for Locked On 76ers daily podcast. So make sure you guys don't miss that on Locked On Sixers YouTube channel. Once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Back with you guys tomorrow. See ya.